1, 2, 3.
Is that your little apron?
Oh, Houdini.
My little sous chef. You ready? On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, On today's episode of Free Unsolicited Cooking Knowledge, my sous chefs and I will be making candied pecans. Pecans? Pecans? I don't know. How do you say it, Houdini? Let's get to bacon. Welcome back, my little spoons. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm what? The missing ingredient to your kitchen. On today's episode, as you saw, we are making candied pecans, and yes, the proper way to say it is pecans. We just looked it up, so if I say pecan, forgive me. I've just been saying it like that my whole life, but it is pecan. So we are making candied pecans. I make this every year for Christmas. I actually make a big batch of it and I split it up into little bags and I give it out as Christmas gifts to my friends and family. And usually it's a part of a big Christmas gift basket of all the preserves I've made throughout the year. But this is one of the things on the sweeter side of the things I make, and I think it's absolutely delicious. Cody loves it and it's super easy to make, very little ingredients, and I will never stop making these for Christmas. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. All right, as always, all the ingredients and measurements are listed down below in the description box, and the first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 325 degrees. Now that your oven is preheating, you're going to grab your mixer of choice. My mixer is my stand mixer, but for the longest time I did not have a stand mixer. I saved up for many months for this. She's my baby. But before then, I would use a hand whisk. It was usually a hand whisk or one of those like mechanical beaters. It was interesting, so this was the best investment of my life up until this point. That's okay, using a hand whisk works as well. It's just a lot of elbow grease, if you will. Great workout if you're into that type of stuff. Anyway, you're gonna grab your mixer of choice. You're gonna have your whisk attachment attached to it. We're gonna go ahead and add 3 egg whites directly into the bowl. Here we are. I just have store-bought egg whites here. You could also separate your egg whites from the yolks at home. The instructions on the store-bought egg whites states that 2 tablespoons is equal to 1 egg white. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of egg whites to my bowl. And I might take this off so I cannot smell. 6. So we put the whisk attachment back on, dropping it and locking it, just like that song. Pop, lock, and drop it. All right, so you're going to beat your egg whites until soft peaks form. So I'm gonna start off slow because I don't want things splashing. This is gonna end up on super high until it is fluffy and creates those soft peaks. Here we go, right? Soft peak, yeah? Now that we have a soft peak formed, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I was gonna say extra virgin, what the hell? Now that the soft peaks are formed, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, I almost did it again. I'm going to add vanilla extract. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of that. It's one of those days. Here we are. D'Artagnan's falling. All right, now that you've added your vanilla, I'm going to close this, lock it, make sure you always lock it, and I'm going to put it on a medium speed. Should I do medium speed or high speed? I'm gonna do a high speed, and I'm going to gradually add 1 cup of granulated sugar as it's mixing. Okay, 1 cup. Okay, so we have 1 cup. I'm going to slowly bring this back up. I'm afraid. Yeah. Just a little peek. Okay, once you have mixed that on full speed and the sugar is incorporated, you're going to be adding 1 pound of pecan halves. I have to get used to saying that. Pecan halves. All right, 1 pound of little pecan halves, okay? Just to let you know, these are very expensive at the store, okay? A 1 kilogram bag costs us $40 plus tax Canadian, but it's so worth it because when I split it amongst the 10 people I'm gifting this Christmas, it is actually not that expensive, and the 1 kilogram will get me about 2 batches of this. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to add that to the egg whites, and I'm gonna fold it in gently until they are all covered. This is what they look like, all covered in that beautiful marshmallowy looking goodness, even though it's not marshmallow. Now that you have mixed your pecans with the egg white mixture, I'm going to kind of clean up around here and I'm going to show you what to do next. For step 2, you're going to grab a baking tray and you're going to spray it down with the non-stick baking spray. And yes, you have to do this or else it sticks. Even if you use parchment paper, it just makes it a hell of a lot harder. I learned these things so I can teach you not to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spray that down with some cooking spray. Pam. The Office? No? Okay. I'm gonna shake it and I'm gonna do this over the sink because with the cannoli cake, I learned that this is violent. So hold that thought. I will be right back and I'm gonna be spraying this back here. All I have to say is I would never be a graffiti artist. That was very difficult. Now that you have sprayed your oven safe tray, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pour half a cup of melted butter. I never said this dish was healthy. So here we are, the melted butter.
What kind of butter was that?
This is just salted Land O'Lakes. You know what time it is. Please, please, please sponsor me one day. I am manifesting that. I want to be sponsored by the people that I purchase from. I'm just literally giving them some free, ads at this point. So please sponsor me. And if that means just sending me a lifetime supply of your butter, of your whipped butter, I won't complain, okay? Okay, now that you have spread your half a cup of melted butter, and in case you're wondering, that is 1 stick of butter, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put my pecan and egg white mixture on the tray. You're just gonna wanna try and flatten it out, even it out. I got a little bit of a high corner of butter over here. Excuse me, I have to make a river. Hang on. There we go. I'm going to put this in the oven, and every 10 minutes I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to mix it. Basically, I have to do the 4 times, so this takes about 40 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, depending on how your oven cooks it. So basically, I'm gonna put this in the oven and I will be back in 10 minutes. This is what it looks like. This is very much trust the process. So what we're going to do is we're going to remix it and break it up. I love the holidays. All right, now that it's all mixed, you're going to flatten it down again, spread it out evenly. We're gonna put it back in the oven for
10 minutes.
Exactly, 10 minutes, and then we will be back to repeat the process. Okay, 10 minutes. It looks the same as the last time, but it's starting to brown. We're going to mix it. So everything has been mixed, flipped, and redistributed in a flat way. So basically, again, put it in the oven for 10 minutes, and we will be right back. Oh my God, imagine if that slid right off the table. I would have been like, well, see you later. Again, we're mixing. Now that you are done that, this is going to go back in the oven for, again?
I don't know, 10 minutes?
10 minutes. And I think that this will be the last one. I don't think we're gonna have to do a 5th one, just by the looks of it. But I'm going to kind of keep peeking in because I don't want them to burn, essentially. Maybe at the 5-minute mark, I'll peek in and whatever. I'll report back, all right? Well, pecan? Pecan? Yes, anyway. I'm gonna put this in and we'll be back. Atticus came to visit me as I'm waiting my 10 minutes. He is not my first cat ever, my first cat living alone ever, and he's the oldest cat. He is 16 years old and still going strong. thank God. My drama teacher from high school, because I still visit her often, she was fostering cats and I saw him and I was like, that's him. That's the one. Run along. Anyway, that's Atticus. Okay. That song, that alarm reminds me of Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the alarm. I'm going to pull them out and they are done. Boop. This is what they look like when they are done in the oven. They are sizzling. Again, you're going to mix it one last time. Oh my goodness. So usually in this stage, it is sticking to the bottom. That means like anything further, they'll start burning if you put them back in. Oh, just beautiful. So now that I have mixed it and broke it up, I'm going to transfer this into a big bowl to kind of cool off naturally because there is one more step to this. And this way you can also ensure that you're breaking them up into little bits. Okay, so now that we have transferred it to a bowl, basically I'm gonna let this cool off until it's still warm but not super hot, and then we will be back to show you the next step. It's been about 10 minutes. They're still fairly warm, but they're much more cooled off than when they came out of the oven. So the next step is going to be covering them in powdered sugar, and I think this is the cherry on top of this recipe. To do that, I'm going to grab a large Ziploc bag. Okay, and then I'm going to put 1 cup of powdered sugar in the bag. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to do half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, into the bag. Now I know what you're thinking. Lily, you didn't sift it. That's okay. What I like to do is I'm gonna zip it shut. If it will. And I'm going to just mix that together, hand break up any pieces. Oh, by the way, my little spoons, Cody, because he is the most thoughtful person in my life, well, some of my friends too, but he's a very thoughtful person and he bought me, well, we already went. We went together. We did a master chocolatiering workshop and I learned a lot. Do I think I am an expert? Absolutely not. I learned a lot of what went wrong in my Cadbury cream eggs. Click the link. We had a wonderful time. Maybe I'll insert some photos of the chocolates we made. They tasted delicious, but I did learn where I went wrong. And I'm super proud of our work, Cody. They tasted delicious. Maybe in the new year, I will start to explore chocolates a little more. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know that. So we are mixed. Everything's good to go. We're gonna open the bag and just fold it over. And then we're gonna add our pecans into the bag. Ooh. They smell so good. All right, now that they're all added to the bag, you're going to Ziploc it shut. Doesn't matter if there's air in there or if all the air escapes, okay? And then we're going to mix it. You're going to want to cover every single little pecan with that white sugary goodness. And you want them warm so the sugar sticks to each pecan. And that is it, my little spoons. You have your candied pecans. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer this to a bowl and then we're gonna be back for TTT, taste test time. And here we are, candied pecans. Okay, Darwin, you're not having any. This is what they look like. I just wanted to mention that I took the bag and I poured it through a sifter just because I didn't want like a lot of that sugar to be sitting at the bottom of the bowl. You can keep it, it's totally up to you. A lot of the extra butter absorbed the sugar, so there's like pieces of butter covered in sugar, which is not a problem. I just did that so it could help me down the road when I'm dividing them up into little bags that you're just getting the sugar covered pecans. Pecans. They are ready, here they are just gorgeous. So yeah, here we go, taste test. The perfect pecan. Oh my God, don't you dare. He wants to eat the greens. They are not crunchy. They're very soft. They absorbed all that butter. They are addictive. Would you like to try some?
Yeah.
Do you want like a handful? Do we put it in a little plate?
No. You got there. I can eat the whole bowl.
He's not gonna eat the whole bowl.
So I remember.
Surprisingly, they're not that sweet. I mean, they're sweet, but they're not like overpoweringly sweet. I know we added so much sugar and stuff, but they're not like way too much. They are perfect. I absolutely love making this. But yeah, thank you, my little spoons, for lasting this long in the video. I hope I inspired you to make this recipe. It's super simple and easy to make, very little ingredients. Even though the pecans can be quite pricey, I think it's completely worth it, especially if you're going to gift it to your friends. It goes a long way. You could also just put it in a bowl and leave it on the table during the holidays and snack on them, or for potlucks and stuff. It's a great little sweet treat to bring. I discovered this recipe, oh God, I don't know, many years ago, and it's just been tradition now every Christmas for me to make this. Cody loves it, I love it. It's not the healthiest, but who cares? It's the holidays, enjoy yourselves, okay? Thank you, my little spoons. And you know what? Pecans. See ya.